What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NolanTCG, and we are back here today for another deck profile, and this month it is an update for the Six Samurai deck profile, or the Six Samurais deck profile, because you now have to slam a big bag of rice down when you decide to resolve the infinite loop which goes for game. At the end of this video, we're not going to be doing the combo like we normally do. It is still effectively the exact same combo. We have just changed up like one tiny little thing, but it is insignificant to the combo. So if you do like regularly watch the Six Samurai videos that go up on this channel, it is still the same combo in essence. We've just made some slight variations. Overall, the deck list that we've put forward here today is just a bit more consistent than previously kind of gone with. However, it is a bit more expensive because some cards are expensive now. But before we get started, as always, please remember to drop down below and hit that subscribe button if you are new here, because we are always happy to have new people to the channel. And let's get on into the deck profile. Okay, like I said before, the combo is not going to be at the end of this video like it normally is, so if you do want to see the combo, just go find one of the older videos on the channel. They will still feature the same combo. Yeah, so just go back, check that out. We'll go through it as we go, though. Starting us off, we do, of course, still have the 3 copies of Kizan. This card is just pretty much what does your infinite loop. Just constantly slams himself down on the board, gets tributed off, and then inflicts burn damage. Then we've got 3 copies of Kageki. Typically, Kageki is your 1-card starter, of course, with, or 2-card starter. Kizaru plus Kageki is full combo, it's an FTK, so opening them is good, so we play 3 of each. Every time your Kizaru comes back, though, you can net that search, which always makes him good, and Kageki can get you out of some bricky hands and bad situations. After that, we are still playing 3 copies of the Legendary Secret of the Six Samurai. Just opening this is so good at being able to allow you to extend through something, so I feel as though playing 3 of it is correct. Next off, we've got, of course, just 2 copies of Hatsume. The reason we're playing this at 2 and not 1 is because you do need to have this in deck in order to resolve the full combo. So drawing it feels bad. If you open up both, you can't do the combo traditionally, and you'll have to find a different way to do it. This deck is just essentially Warrior Extender the deck. So you're not going to be too kind of feeling down if you open this, because you can just like throw your hand at the board and see where it goes. And most times you can work your way to an FTK. Ideally, like if you can generate like 4 Six Samurai monsters on board, and one of them is Hatsume, you've probably done the FTK regardless. After that, though, we do have some more. We've got, of course, 1 copy of Fuma. This is not essential to the combo at all. It's just here if you decide to make a Shien, if you get like disrupted or anything like that. Then we've got 2 copies of Shinai. Actually, sorry, back on the Fuma. The Fuma is good if you open Dojo. It helps you play through hand traps. Because it's only a 1, so you only need to generate 1 other Six Samurai on board, then you can get him out. Then we've got, of course, the 2 copies of Shinai and the 2 copies of Mizuho, the cards that do your infinite loop. So essentially, like, your Mizuho is just popping your Shinais and itself, then they loop each other to get back into the hand. You just keep slapping them on board. Then, of course, rounding out the 6 Samurais, though, we do have 1 copy of Grandmaster, just an extra free summon. Helps you get into, essentially, it's actually pretty important for the FTK. Make it seem like it's like casual, but you do need those different names to get you into the Sayuja. Ends up getting you all the pluses that you need. Then, last of the monsters, sorry, not last of the monsters, there is still 1 to come after this. It's a pretty important one too. It's 3 copies of Fiery Flint Lady. Essentially just extender, helps you get more Six Samurais onto board and helps you win. And then the last monster, of course. This time it is 1 copy of Amazonas Archer. So we've switched from the Cannon Soldier to the Amazonas Archer because the Archer is a warrior and therefore is just more searchable than the Cannon Soldier. Of course, you can just search any level 4 and special summon any level 4, so it doesn't really matter. However, if you open the Archer, or you like open a way just to generate the loop plus Archer, you can just kind of do the infinite loop combo without having to establish an infinite loop, which is always good. I believe, like, if you open, like, Archer and the 3... Archer and, like, all the blue boys, like, blue and reds, that, I believe, is, like, close to game. You just need to generate a way to, like, get them on board, of course. I'm rambling, though. Then we go into the spells. We've got, of course, the 1 copy of Gateway. It's Gateway, Gateway good. You just search it off your Battle Shogun anyway. 3 copies of Smoke Signal to get you the Kageki to help you combo off. 3 copies of Dojo, of course. If you open Dojo plus the normal combo, you can go through at least 1 hand trap, which is always good. Then we've got 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army, because it searches every card in your deck, bar 1, because there is the Grandmaster. Then for our equip spells, we're playing a Durandal, because if you draw it, it can get you to your Fiery Flint Lady. One copy of Phoenix Blade because it recurs and banishes out some stuff from grave to allow for other things to happen. One copy of DDR to get back your banished. And one copy of Living Fossil because, again, it reborns pretty much everything in the deck. Then for the last of the spells, these have all changed from the original build, so we are playing now 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. It halves the damage your opponent takes. Oh no, if only we weren't doing like infinite amounts of damage and that didn't matter. Then of course, because now we can't play the Upstart because we're playing the Prosperities, we're playing the 1 copy of Called by the Grave. It's found its way back into the deck list. Okay, so now next off we've got the extra deck, and of course it is still 3 copies of Battle Shogun. The fact that this card goes to infinite attack when you're doing the loop just kind of means playing 3 is good if you get disrupted, because you can just make like more on another turn and then just attack with it for game, because that's always huge. Attack into a magical cylinder though, and or magic cylinder, and the game's over, because you've attacked them with like infinite attack and you're taking that back. Unless you have a magical cylinder, and then you can Yugi bounce it back. Then, of course, we've got 2 copies of Sayuja. The 2 copies of Sayuja are important because you need to use both of the special summon effects, because they are different cards. You can use both of them. And then we're just playing 1 copy of Isolde. The reason why I'm playing 1 copy of Isolde is because you can only really have enough equipped spells to really resolve 1. So if you activate it, you send its cost. So you're kind of in a bit of a bad situation if this gets negated in the first place. Then for our XCs, we're playing 1 copy of Levier because it can get you back the banished stuff, is important, along with the Alimbertion to resolve the combo. Both of these cards are necessary in order to like do the whole like infinite loop. This gets you any level 4. This gets you back the banished to get you into the second Sayuja with the different names, which are always good. Then we've got, of course, the rest of this is tech. So we got 1 copy of Dugaris the Timeless, can net you those draw 2s if you're in a bit of a sticky situation. Baguska, because a lot of decks just can't play with it. 1 Tornado Dragon to out back row decks. 1 copy of Dweller, again, because a lot of decks can't play through it. 1 copy of Exciton Knight, the most useless card in this extra deck because Zeus is a thing, and they effectively do the same thing. As long as you just attack, you can make a Zeus. Exciton Knight, though, sometimes you just can't attack over, so the Exciton Knight works the same way. And then we've got 1 copy of Legendary 6 Samurai Shiin, because this is a 6 Samurai deck, and it would be wrong if you didn't have a way to make it. But that wraps up here for the deck profile for this one. So as always, if you do have any recommendations or things you would change, make sure to comment them down below. I was hoping by this point we would have like events for me to go back to post this update for. But clearly we have to wait for the rest of the world to be able to go back to events before we can go back to events. Given that like our country's just opened up to New Zealand, it could be very, very, very good, Konami, if we decided to just do a essentially an Oceanics, because we can just do that. There's no restrictions on anything. But as always, I've been Ben from NolanTCG, and have a good afternoon, everybody.